everyone, welcome to Yoga with Donna. I hope everybody's keeping well and safe. Today we're going to be doing a beginners over 50 practice for Sun Salutations. So those of you who haven't practiced Sun Salutations before and are not even maybe sure what they are, this practice will break it down a little bit more and make you feel a little bit more comfortable before you go into the full Sun Salutations. So let's get started. Place your hands on your knees, sitting up nice and tall on your sit bones. Dip your chin, close your eyes, and let's just get settled onto the mat. So deep breath in for 4 counts. Pause at the top for 2 counts. And exhale for 6 counts through your nose. Breathing in. Pause at the top, exhale through your nose. So let's just continue on with the 4 counts in, holding for 2 counts and exhaling for 6 in your own time. And just let any thoughts that are coming to you, just let them float away and just really feel grounded into starting this practice. And wherever you're up to, just finish off your last round of breathing. Flush your eyes open, lift your gaze. Keep your hands still on your knees, sitting up nice and tall on your sit bones. If you're finding it a little bit difficult sitting here for too long, an easy pose, just elevate your hips on a cushion or a bolster cushion. Lifting your shoulders up by your ears, taking them back and back down to neutral. So bringing them forward, then up by your ears, back and down. Just going to do a few shoulder shrugs like this, or circles of the shoulders, because you can have a lot of pressure going onto your shoulders with doing Sun Salutations, so it's quite good to warm them up first. So bring them forward, up, breathing in, back, breathing out, and down, forward, up, and back, breathing in, and breathing out. Breathing in and out, and then reverse, taking them back, up by your ears, forward and back to neutral. Breathing in, breathing out. Remember, in yoga practice, unless you're told otherwise, always breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. It just helps to retain your energy and keep the breath within your body. And then just finish. Keep your hands on your knees. We're going to do cat-cow in a seated position. So chest coming forward as much as you can. And then when you're ready, feel like someone's punched you in the tummy, your navel is going towards your spine and around your back, and shoulders coming forward. And then chest forward, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Remember, navel to spine, really concave that back, and then breathing in, extending and rounding. One more time, extend forward and rounding. Take your body forward, out to the side, round your back, up to the other side and forward. And the whole time you're doing it, just try and keep your sit bones on your cushion or on the mat as much as you can. So let's just do it. So keep breathing in as you come forward, out as you go back. And use your hands on your knees as a leverage just to help you stop going back too far or too far forward. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And one last time. And then reverse it. So coming forward, up to the other side, rounding, and forward, back, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And one more time. And coming back to centre. Good. Let's just bring your legs around. Place your feet flat on the floor as close to your sit bones as you can. Take your hands out so they're just underneath your shoulders. Lift your hips up. And if you want to and you haven't got a neck issue, take your head back. So we're coming up into reverse tabletop. So it's really good to stretch out your body. And then gently come back down. Just relax for a minute. And then pressing through your palms, through your feet and lifting up again. Try and get your body as straight as you can. So really lifting up through your sit bones, through your hips. Feel like your navel's pulling up towards the sky or the ceiling. And then when you're ready, slowly come back down. Swing your legs around. Coming into big toes together, knees as wide as your mat. Or if you find that a little bit difficult, you can bring your knees in a little bit closer. And you might want to put a cushion underneath your sit bones on top of your heels, and a cushion on your forehead onto the mat here. And just take a couple of long deep breaths. Just before we come into the Sun Salutations. And then when you're ready, press into the mat. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Take your hands out a little bit further forward than your shoulders. Curl your toes under, and we're coming up into a relaxed downward facing dog. So lift your knees off the mat and just get your feet hip width apart and just take your hips back, or your belly back towards the top of your thighs, and just stay here for a moment. And then when you're ready, you can pedal each heel down towards the mat. Make sure that your shoulders are gliding down your back, and make sure that your triceps are coming in towards each other. So you haven't got them going out away from the mat, you've got them coming in towards each other. So your elbows should be coming in to face each other, so you're not putting too much strain in your shoulders. And then when you're ready, come up on both toes. Lower as much as you can towards the mat with your heels and stay here for a moment. Engage navel, sit bones are lifting up towards the ceiling. And then bend your knees down towards the mat. Take your chest down towards the mat. Relax the tops of your feet. And then coming up into a small cobra. So just keep your head looking straight ahead, elbows still bent. Hands underneath your shoulders, or if you find this a little bit too difficult, you can bring your hands out a little bit further away from you. And then when you're ready, pressing back onto your knees, curl your toes under and lift your hips up into a relaxed downward facing dog again. Stay here for a moment. Remember to keep those triceps coming in towards each other, shoulders down, gliding down your back. Navel engaged. Then slowly straighten one leg, then the other leg. And bending your knees, coming down towards the mat with your knees. Drop your chest towards the mat. Relax the tops of your feet along the mat, a little bit wider than your hips. And then up into Cobra. back down. So this is a modified down Sun Salutation. So pressing back to your knees, lift your hips, adjust your feet, and coming back into the relaxed downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, pedal your feet out again, heel heading towards the mat. When you're ready, come up onto your toes, lower your heels towards the mat. Now if you weren't putting your knees down onto the mat, you'd be coming forward into a plank position. So if you're feeling like you're feeling quite strong today and you'd like to try, just come forward into plank, or otherwise those of you who'd like to still stick with your knees coming down to the mat, you do so. So coming forward into plank, hold your core, then slowly and gently lower down towards the mat. Relax the tops of your feet, cobra, then back down, curl your toes under. Now those of you who came into plank before, you might like to come back into plank, or those of you who had your knees bent, come into bended knee. And pressing back up, and back into downward facing dog. And we'll do it one more time. So if you'd like to bend your knees, you can bend your knees, or if you'd like to come into plank, you're feeling strong today, you can bend your knees just before you come down to the mat if you like to, or you can just lower straight down with your chest coming down first, and then relax the rest of your body on the mat, and then breathing in, and coming back down. And remember, you can bend your knees and come back this way, or you can come straight up into plank and downward facing dog. So you can have your knees bent here, or you can actually straighten your knees, whatever you feel like you're comfortable with. And then when everyone's back in downward facing dog, take your right leg between your hands, relax your back heel on the mat, having your hips facing forward, shoulders facing forward. We're coming up into warrior one. So really strong through the legs, pulling up off your hips, navel engaged, shoulders down, fingers really extending up to the ceiling. Then turn your palms to face the front, and then bend your elbows coming back into cactus arms, and then extend them back up, palms facing together, and bring them down into your sternum. And then when you're ready, bring your arms up, place them either side of your front foot, coming back into downward facing dog, whichever modification you'd like for downward facing dog. Either bend your knees or have your legs stretched out along the mat. And then stepping forward with your left foot between your hands, relax your back heel on the mat, hips facing forward, shoulders facing forward, come up into warrior one. Make sure that you've got your hips facing to the front of your mat, shoulders facing the front of your mat. Then turn your palms to face the front of your front, and then into cactus arms. Try and keep your ribs in as much as you can, really strong through those legs, and then back up. And then bring your hands into prayer position, hold it here. And then take your arms down and up, and then coming down either side of your front foot, coming back into downward facing dog. And then step between your hands, feet hip width apart, relax between your arms, nod your head if you'd like to, shake your head if you'd like to. Just make sure that your neck is nice and relaxed over your legs. And if you don't have to hold your elbows, you can have your hands down on the mat, or you can have your hands on your feet or your shins, and bend your knees really well so you're not actually putting any strain on your hamstrings or lower back. You're just hanging there. Take a deep breath. And then when you're ready, place your hands on your shins, coming to half flat back. So stretch out right through from your tailbone through to the crown of your head. Nice long length of spine. And then relax down, bend your knees, breathing in, coming up, and breathing out. And breathing in, bend your knees, arms up, and bending, coming forward, over your legs, coming into half back, flat back, and then relax down. Place your hands in front of your feet, stepping back into downward facing dog, whatever your downward facing dog is today. Coming forward into plank or lower your knees to the mat. Another sun salutation, and chest coming forward first. Relax your feet, pushing back up into cobra, and then back down. Curl your toes under, coming back. Big toes together, knees as wide as your mat. We're coming into child's pose to relax. So you can place your hands together, your palms together, that relaxes your shoulders a little bit more, and get yourself set up because we'll stay here for a little bit to do a few deep breaths just before we come into easy pose. So place your cushions if you need to underneath your sit bones or underneath your forehead. And let's just restore our body after doing the sun salutations. Feel like the air is going, when you inhale, is going right up through from your lower back, through the middle of your back, upper back, back of your neck into the top of your crown of your head. And then as each exhale goes from the top of the crown of the head, away from the neck, upper back, middle back and lower back and out. And when you're ready, one long last deep breath in and out. And then using your hands, pushing yourself up. Swing your legs around, get yourself set up with your cushion if you need it underneath your hips. Just place your hands in your lap, close your eyes, dip your chin. Just see how you feel. See whether any parts of your body feel a little bit more worked than when you started the practice. And just take note of where in your body you might still be holding a little bit of tension, so just let it go. Just breathe into that part of your body. And then when you're ready, lift your gaze. Take your hands into your sternum. Thank you very much for joining me here today, everyone. And please, if you've got any comments or questions, leave them in the comments box below. And if you like my channel, please subscribe. And I hope to see you on the mat again soon. Namaste.